She continues on kind of in another vein here, verse 8. Open your mouth for the speechless in the cause of all who are appointed to die. Open your mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause of the poor and needy. Again, what is the number one responsibility of a king, of a ruler? To establish justice in the land. And is it justice for those who can pay for it? You know, that's the way that it is in most of the rest of the world. And I've counted at one point, but I've been to at least 20 different countries in my life as being a military brat and also a missionary. And it's amazing to see what we have here as far as justice. And I know there's a lot of perversion of justice in our country, but it really pales in comparison to what you see in many other countries. I remember living in Cambodia, the country of Cambodia, and just watching out in the broad open daylight, people handing cash to police officers. And so in order to get justice in that nation, you had to have the money to buy it. And God forbid that it should be that way in our country, though we do see that. But at least thankfully in this country, it is expected, right, that justice should be for all, regardless of rich or poor. But the poor, especially, can be and are exploited, and sometimes justice for the poor is overlooked. And so there is special attention that this mother is calling to her son, the king, to pay that special attention to those who are poor and needy. She mentions, open your mouth for the speechless. And I think in this context, she's talking about those who don't have a voice in the world, right? When you don't have a lot of money or resources, you just don't have the same voice as others to cry out about injustice. Nobody's listening. Nobody listens to a poor man. And so she said, you need to be the voice. You need to be the advocate for that one. This is a verse that is commonly used in the pro-life movement, right? Because when it comes to unborn children, they literally do not have a voice. They cannot speak. They cannot talk. And they are literally being appointed to death. There are moms and dads who are making appointments for their children to be destroyed. And so a good king, a good ruler, will advocate and do whatever he can. You know, when you're a king, you have lots of power, basically unlimited power, at least in this day that this was written, in general. In our day, you know, we have different jurisdictions and only a certain amount of authority depending on what position you hold. But do what you can to advocate for those who are being led to death, those who are appointed